Warrior! You landed on the Coach JV podcast. This is a raw, authentic podcast helping you understand the power you have inside of you to accomplish great things. I'm just going to warn you, if you're sensitive, this is not the podcast for you. But if you're ready to rise, let's go. Warriors, rise! Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Coach JV podcast. I'm about motivation, health, and life. I'm your host, Coach JV, your top health and mindset coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. You landed on the best podcast in the whole wide world. Why? Because I am the top health and mindset and crypto coach in the world, because I say I am. Because what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Now, I've been saying this for a very long time. And today I'm going to talk about how your ego is going to stop your success. Your ego is going to stop your success. That's disgusting. Okay, so here's why. So many of you, to include myself, remember, this is a self-reflection podcast. So I want you to understand the difference between ego and confidence. There's a delicate balance. Okay. So I'm going to share with you, I like to share with you experiential things, but our ego often stops us from learning from the people that we need to learn from to get us to where we want to go. And the universe, God, omnipresence will present us those opportunities and present us those people, but our ego stops us from accepting because we think through ego versus confidence that we have more knowledge in that person, or we're jealous of the person. Our ego doesn't allow us to listen to that person. Okay. So this happens in the workspace. This happens in the relationship space. Happens a lot in relationships because there's a more intimate sense, right? You don't really want to listen to your spouse, partner, or loved one because your ego says, I don't want you to know more than me, because if you know more than me, then it makes me vulnerable to you. And it's an innate thing within our body. I think it's a protection thing. It's like, or you walk into a room and you try to develop an ego, or your ego stops you from talking to people or scares you from talking to people because you don't want people to know that you don't know. And that's okay not to know. What's not okay is to not gain the knowledge that you need to move yourself forward. So the difference between, to me currently, because people, I've heard that I have an ego. I don't think, well, at some point you have to have an ego in certain things in life. I guess would it be ego? Because the ego is edging good out, right? And so I wake up every day with good intentions to help people and mankind. And so I don't worry about anything else. So that's confidence. I'm confident in the products and services that I'm offering because of the amount of work and studying that I put in to be able to offer those products and services. And it's showing in the physical reality with abundance, right? We built $1 million company. We're producing about $3,000 a month in income. We're about to launch our new company, which will help us produce probably close to $200,000 a month in income, to $300,000 to $400,000 a month in income. Now, what is that? That's a direct result of not ego. That's a direct result of confidence and continuing to move on. Because if it was ego, I would have quit a long time ago, because ego would have had me quit when I was underneath this desk that I'm leaning on right now, crying when I ran out of money and I had to let everybody go. Okay, so ego would have said, fuck. God damn it. I would have left, right? Because my ego would have been hurt, but it wasn't ego, it's confidence in the ability that God gave me to continue to keep going. And why am I talking about facts, figures, numbers, logic, and money now? Because it's important to understand, because I'm looking to help the people who are going to continue to clap. I want to be around people that are going to clap for me when I'm successful too. Because what I've experienced in my current reality, and it's the part that most people aren't able to get through, is people will clap for you when you're down. It's cute. The story's really cute, and it's neat to see somebody at the bottom, like Rocky. It's neat to cheer for Rocky when he's at the bottom, right? And when Rocky starts fighting up and getting back up to the top and getting back up on his feet, it's like, oh shit, he's gonna win. Oh shit. And then the insecurity kicks in other people, because they're like, well, it was fun to hang out with him when he was losing because I could relate, because I had stuff to talk about. We were in strife together and we could talk about the bad times, and now he's succeeding. But it's not a different person. The person just manifested what they were seeing, and it was cute when they were talking about it when it wasn't in their physical reality, but the confidence allowed them to get there because they let go of ego, right? They let go of ego. So they got to where they want to go because the lack of ego put the people in their lives that they could listen to mentor with, that allowed them to build the confidence to continue going. So my lack of ego, which people say I have, has allowed me to move up from mentor to mentor to mentor. And I just became a mentee of someone who's going to take this Warrior Academy to a whole nother level. And everybody around me that's connected to me is going to go to a whole different level if they lower their egos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying instinctively like everybody's going to become rich, but the information is going to come down to everybody in the Warrior Academy, because we're all working together, because there's no egos. It's confidence that we're all going to help each other. And if you ever run with me, it's we. It's never me. It's people, like when we went to Vegas, like, oh, JV. I'm like, no, we did this. I couldn't do it with anybody else, without everybody in this academy. Without all the clients, I couldn't do it without, the people that are working for us. I couldn't do it with anybody. I couldn't do it without anybody. So it's we. So I want you to think about that, Warriors. I want you to think about your ego right now. What is your ego stopping you from doing? Is it stopping you from listening to your boss who's in the position that you want to be in? Humble yourself. Don't let your boss think you're about to overtake them. Work your fucking ass off with confidence, not ego. Listen, respond, do more that's asked of you. They're in their position for a reason. Your spouse may, and now maybe if it's wise counsel, that's really important. If your spouse is giving you some advice, don't get all pissed off because you have an emotional connection with them. Now, I say wise counsel because they could have an ego. It could go the opposite. But if they're really giving you good wise counsel to protect you, right, don't let your ego stop you from where you need to be. Because what happens is when you create a vision board and you create a plan for your life, God, omnipresence, Allah, Buddha, whatever you believe in, is going to present these people to you. Don't let your ego ruin it. Don't let your ego let these people go out. Many of you will get into business with other people and your ego is going to stop you. I promise you, your ego is going to stop you, because that person's in their position for a reason. You're in your position for a reason. If you want to outshine the person, then build the confidence to outshine them and just do it in your own realm. Don't try to overtake what they're doing. Build confidence. Two confident people working together is powerful. Two confident people in a relationship is powerful. Two confident people in business together, or like maybe a boss and an employee, is powerful. But one with an ego makes it out of balance. It's unequally yoked. So ask yourself, in your area of finances and relationships, maybe health, where's your ego getting you? And remove it. Remove it by hiring mentors. Humble yourself. Get uncomfortable. I am so fucking uncomfortable right now, Warriors. I'm heading into a whole new realm of doing LBOs, leverage buyout offers. I'm just going into the boot camp soon, and I'm in a totally different realm. Totally different realm. Building a brand new company called Uncommon 1% to help influencers do what I did. I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I did if they follow giving them the exact blueprint, like literally my sales funnels, my emails, everything. Because do you know how much money I spent to get to this point? And I don't even spend a dime on marketing. And I'm going to give them my blueprint on how I built $1 million company. But it's not easy, Warriors. It's not easy. I had to lower my fucking ego. I had to be confident in what I was doing, right? Now, my ego does creep in sometimes, and I check myself. I say, okay, back off a little bit. That's ego, and ego is always edging good out. So if there's things that are negative coming from the appearance of confidence, that's ego, right? But confidence always brings good, okay? Now, confidence will also drive out the bad. So those who are not here to help you or here to be in one with you or in union with you to help your mission and purpose will be driven out by confidence. But ego will bring the wrong people in. So all I ask is you look at your life right now, and where can you lower your ego so you can help move your family forward? Okay, it's time for us to humble ourselves and say, all right, let's go. So I'm super humbled right now with the mentor I have, right? And one thing I'll share with you guys too that I've learned. If you have this is something that I've learned. Hopefully you'll learn in business. And if you want to work with me and work my Uncommon 1%, there's an application process, but we're only accepting 20 people per 6 weeks. So we already have a waiting list. If you want to join the waiting list, you can click the link in my bio on Instagram. You can join our Warrior Academy, which is totally separate from Uncommon One. Warrior Academy is access to my crypto portfolio, our 120-day challenge, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board, how I live my life, basically. Exactly how I live my life in the best community in the world for $69. It's unbelievably cheap for the amount of stuff you get. It'll change your life. The Uncommon 1% is my mentorship program for entrepreneurs who want to build $1 million company. No guarantee, obviously. It's all based on your hard work and dedication. But also you have to have some sort of following. You have to know what you're doing. I mean, you can build your business with us, but you have to have some sort of following and engagement with your followers, right? Because that's part of the business, right? We don't do any marketing, any advertising right now, but now we're heading into that realm, and you guys are going to follow us, and we'll give you the blueprint. So basically, within 6 weeks of boot camp, you'll have your whole system built, and you'll launch your first product in 6 weeks. What was the point of that? Oh, click the Instagram link, Coach JV _. But it's time to build some confidence, warriors. It's time to build some confidence. You guys ready to rock and roll? So we talked about vision boards yesterday. We didn't talk about vision boards. We talked about the fact that having a vision, right? Having a clear vision and paradigm. Like, do we live in the same reality? Do we? When the coronavirus is the best thing that ever happened to me, and 99% of people I meet, it was the worst thing that happened to them. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. It changed my whole life. It helped me just transition into finally building $1 million company and finally meeting mentors that I'm going to be traveling all over the world, whereas my whole life has changed dramatically in a year and a half. And I keep saying a year and a half, but it was the decisions I made 15 years ago to read the book, The Secret, the decisions I made to walk out of corporate America boldly in 2017 to start a podcast and try to get out there with my books. I got the shit kicked out of me. So it's not like it just happened a year and a half ago. I built the confidence through continuing to move forward, and I want to help you with that, warriors. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.